a smart, sophisticated man.
November 29, 2011, Conrad Murray, Michael Jackson's doctor, was convicted of involuntary manslaughter in the death of the pop icon.
He has absolutely no sense of remorse, absolutely no sense of fault, and is and remains dangerous.
Harsh words from the judge who handed down the maximum sentence.
The court has determined that the appropriate term is the high term of 4 years imprisonment.
But Murray remains defiant and has appealed his conviction. During my interview with his attorney for this documentary, Murray called from jail and spoke with me.
I've lost a friend, a great friend, a man who was imperfect, like all of us are. He's had his dark sides and he's had his good sides, and I know them both. I truly would always miss him.
Conrad Murray, do you, as you sit here now in jail, and I'm talking to you, you believe in your innocence?
Absolutely, no doubt, because I did nothing wrong, and all I tried to do was to help this friend who I encountered in a devastating state, and I did everything possible to help my friend.
How long do you think your client's going to spend in jail then?
He's due to be released in October. He received a 4-year term. He has to serve half of it. But that's not really the issue. The issue is having a felony conviction on his record, possibly permanently losing his medical license, clearing his name.
While Murray is appealing his conviction, the death of Michael Jackson is on trial again, this time in a civil court. His mother and his children have filed a wrongful death lawsuit alleging AEG Live, the promoter of Michael's This Is It concerts, hired Dr. Murray and was responsible for his criminal actions. Kevin Boyle is the attorney for Katherine Jackson.
We are going to present evidence that support those claims, that the AEG defendants were negligent in hiring, retaining, or supervising Dr. Conrad Murray, and that ultimately led to the death of Michael Jackson.
Marvin Putnam, AEG Live's attorney, says AEG didn't pay Dr. Murray a dime because his contract was never executed.
AEG Live in no way has a responsibility or culpability in the tragic death of Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson paid for his personal physician, his family doctor, Dr. Conrad Murray, for years.
The trial of the Jacksons versus AEG Live started this week, with the Jackson family seeking compensation, perhaps billions, from the promoter AEG Live. The Jackson family claims AEG Live instructed Murray, quote, not to look out for Jackson's best interests, but rather to do whatever medical procedures were calculated to get Jackson to perform. The company's president and CEO, Randy Phillips, told me in an interview in 2010 that he saw a lot of Michael Jackson during concert preparations.
Look, I spent the most time with him of anyone because of the position I was in at the time.
So you spent a lot of time with him. Did he ever seem out of it to you?
Drug-liked out of it.
Honestly?
No, I would only be honest with you. I wouldn't have done this interview. I can't tell if it was drugs or it was just him. But, there were just times that he, would wander into his own world sometimes.
Did he talk to you about his insomnia at all? Were you aware of that? Did he say, I'm having trouble sleeping?
No, I didn't have a clue about it. But he used to call me at 12:30 at night. So I'd engage him in a conversation, usually would last an hour. Then I'd go to bed. And he'd call me again at 6:30 in the morning when I'm up. And I just thought because he had kids, he got up early. It never occurred to me that he'd never gone to sleep. So looking back, that's probably a sign that I didn't pick up.
We know that Randy Phillips' concerns about Michael Jackson started at least as early as March, when Michael Jackson
This Is It
went up on the stage and announced his This Is It concert series. According to emails that were part of the discovery in this trial,
in June during rehearsals, just over a week before Michael Jackson would die, Phillips received this email from director Kenny Ortega. It is like there are two people there, one deep inside, trying to hold on to what he was and still can be, and not wanting us to quit him. The other in this weakened and troubled state. I believe we need professional guidance in this matter. Phillips replied, "This doctor is extremely successful. We check everyone out and does not need this gig, so he is totally unbiased and ethical." AEG Live claims that during rehearsals, Dr. Murray worked for and was paid by Michael Jackson. But the Jackson family argues otherwise.
Who do you believe employed Dr. Conrad Murray at the time of Michael's death?
The complaint is very clear in alleging that it was AEG and the defendants at AEG who were employing Dr. Conrad Murray.
AEG had negotiated a contract to pay Murray's salary, but the company says that agreement would have covered only the upcoming This Is It concerts.
You have to understand, whatever interaction Michael had with Dr. Murray really didn't concern or involve us until the tour started. And that's when this contract would have kicked in. We had never started to pay Dr. Murray. We had never officially employed him because that contract never got signed.
So to you, this contract is null and void, or?
Yeah, to me, it never took effect because it required Michael's signature.
Mr. Jackson never signed. AEG never signed because it was still in negotiations.
But the Jacksons point to an email sent to Kenny Ortega, director of the This Is It concerts.
This is what the Jackson lawyers call their smoking gun.
In the email, AEG Live co-CEO Paul Gongaware wrote, "We want to remind Murray that it is AEG, not MJ, who is paying his salary. We want to remind him what is expected of him."
What is expected of him? What does that mean?
That's not all of the email, but more than that, they've taken it completely out of context. My understanding is what he understood that to mean is what Mr. Ortega was asking him, which is, does he have the proper nutrition? Does he have a physical therapist? Does he have the things in place that Mr. Jackson needs?
It didn't mean, listen, there's a lot riding on this. Get him to these rehearsals by any means necessary.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
For those people who say that AEG is ultimately responsible for Michael Jackson's death, how do you respond?
Yeah, I'm sad. It makes me sad that it devolves to that. AEG, all we did, we're just promoters. We put up a lot of money. You know, sometimes there aren't villains. They're just unfortunate circumstances and accidents.
Do you feel that you did everything that you could, everything above board, everything right, handled it properly?
Is there a camera I can look into so the public can check if I'm telling the truth or not? Yeah, absolutely. I feel 100% that what happened, you know, was a terrible accident. Had it not happened, well, I don't know what it was, but whatever happened, okay, had it not and Michael survived, I think we would have created entertainment history with these shows, and he would have reclaimed his, what he would like to say is his throne as the King of Pop.